Hello, this is LaserBolt, and welcome to today's video, guys. Just like I promised, here is my maximum damage firepower weapon build for the Devastator. If you guys are going to watch this video, you guys are going to be extremely surprised. You're going to see plays like the ones I'm showing you right now, where you're just pretty much melting any elite, any boss. And I got to tell you guys, this build is not even fully optimized. It is 70% complete. Once I have it 100% complete, I am going to be melting people like butter left and right. Everybody said the Devastator wasn't able to dish out damage. Well, here I am to present you the Devastator maximum damage build. So if all of this sounds like something you're definitely interested, a like would be greatly appreciated. And let's talk about this Devastator build. So this build, guys, is going to be focusing primarily on a lot of concepts. The first thing we're going to be doing is getting weapon damage from our skill tree and using that skill tree buff to buff our skills and using the skills to buff our damage. Really crazy. It is a little bit gear focused. So if you guys are starting this out, you're probably going to have to wait till you probably get to endgame, gets a couple legendary pieces and put this together. But once you put this together, you guys are going to be extremely satisfied. Let's take a look at what skills we're going to be using to make this particular build complete. First skill we're using is Tremor. This is going to be on a 13-second cooldown. I know it sounds a little bit high based on the Earthquake, which is like around 6, but trust me, guys, as long as you get the cycle correctly, you guys should be good to go. We're also going to be rolling Golem, which is going to last a total of 16 seconds. This is crazy because we actually are going to be in Golem the majority of the time when we're using this build. So that's what makes it really OP. And we're also going to be using Gravity Leap as well. Those are the three main skills that we're using. Now, as far as our class setup is completed, let's go ahead and talk about so you guys can get a better idea. This is what it looks like, but you guys want to make sure you guys pay close attention so you can know exactly what we're doing and what are the main concept we're trying to achieve when putting this build together. So number one, guys, of course, we're picking up weapon damage. We're picking up armor piercing, which is going to help us with the elites. We're also picking another set of weapon damage, picking up armor piercing again, picking up assault rifle damage, picking up weapon damage, and picking up this one right here. It's extremely important that you pay close attention to this so you could understand the mechanics of this build. Using protection skills increase weapon damage by 45%. Whenever we're under Golem, we are always going to be getting that 45% weapon damage. So you got to keep that in mind. Now, theoretically, what you want to do, depending on what expedition you're doing, you're going to want to make sure you stay in Golem the majority of the time. As long as there's enemies to kill, you'll be under the Golem effect almost indefinitely. And that's going to give you a 45% increment every single time. The other thing we're picking up is this one, the Heirloom Armor, which is when an enemy dies in your close range. Since we are going to be at close range, it's going to give us a little bit of survivability because the armor is going to transfer to us whenever someone dies at close range. Next up, guys, we're picking up an increase to your critical damage by 20%. We're picking up another weapon damage by 8%. We're also picking this one, Assault Master. As you guys see, we're going to be running primarily only assault rifles. In the clip I showed you guys, I was running a shotgun, but I mean, theoretically, you want to run double ARs. Then, guys, we're going to go with Brawler, which is going to increase your close range weapon damage. Since we're always up close, we are going to be kicking butt. Next up, guys, we're going to increase our weapon damage by 8%. We're also going to be picking up a weapon leech, so that's going to be giving us health whenever we're shooting our gun. And we're picking up Bounty Hunter, which is going to increase the damage against elites for 15%. Theoretically speaking, we're going to be like at 40% once we apply certain mods, which I'll show you guys once we get into the build video. Then we're going to be picking up a reload to your weapon, so that's going to allow us to reload our weapon a little bit faster. This one is actually extremely important, the ammo stockpile, because this is going to extend the amount of ammo that your gun currently has, which is an AR, which is like around 40. It's going to push it up to 60, which is going to make it kind of like a double gun and makes it really effective. Then, guys, you're going to go and pick this one up. When enemies who damage you will have their physical damage reduced by 10% for 5 seconds. This is actually really good, especially when you're fighting monsters or those people that try to rush you. This is actually pretty helpful. Then we're going to be picking up another increase to your armor piercing. Once again, allowing us to kill, do more damage to the elites a lot quicker. And last but not least, guys, we're picking alternate charge when kinetic skills and increase your weapon damage by 70%. So theoretically, the combo you want to get here to make sure you get 70% and you also get 45% is you want to Gravity Leap and then you want to pop Golem, or you could pop Golem first and then Gravity Leap, and then you're going to, for 10 seconds, you're going to have that 45 plus that's 70%, which should roughly give you around like 115 to 110 damage for 10 seconds. Pretty crazy. Let's take a look at our inventory and talk about what we have. So one weapon that it is pretty much a requirement for this particular build, guys, is going to be the Amber Bolt. The reason why this is a requirement is because this one comes with Killing Spree, and Killing Spree, what it does is anytime you kill someone, it's going to increase your damage by 25% for 20 seconds. You're able to stack this up to 3 times. That's 60 seconds, and you are going to be killing a lot of people with this build. So do keep that in mind. Now we are putting a second mod here called Ultimate Damage Link. This is extremely important, guys. It's extremely important because with this one, you're going to be able to link up to different enemies, which are going to share the damage that you're putting out to them. As you guys have seen in the clip, it is crazy good. I want to know from you guys, do you want me to upload the video of me using this complete build? Let me know in the comment section down below, because I'm going to show you guys a little bit of gameplay, but if you want to see the full playthrough, let me know and we'll put that alive. Now, I am running a shotgun. Like I said, I am running this automatic shotgun. The reason I was running this one is because I was just spamming it so I could apply bleed to people, because currently right now I didn't have any other way to apply bleed as far from the melee, or this was just kind of spreading bleed all around. So I was using this a lot, also using Fortress on here. And this one I was actually using quite often, which you guys saw me, or you guys will see me clearing out little ads with this one, because I used the Morning Wind to clear the little pesky little individuals that show up on my screen there. So that is the weapon. But the main priority, guys, the Amber Vault, that is pretty much a requirement. You could theoretically put something else here as long as it has Ultimate Damage Link. You could probably go with the Voodoo. You could put the Voodoo and maybe apply the Killing Spree. That should give you kind of roughly about the same thing that this is doing to the Voodoo. You could probably do like a Voodoo and an Amber Bolt, but you're going to be running out of ammo really fastly. So do keep that in mind. You're going to have to hit those restock stashes. Next up, guys, we are going to be using three pieces of the status, pretty much armor. The reason we're picking up 3 of these is because when we use Tremor or Golem, it increases our firepower by 100% and our weapon leech by 100%. So put this into consideration, guys. You're going to get your firepower increased by 100%, and you're going to get your weapon leech increased by 100%. The weapon leech is extremely important because that is where you're going to be getting the health back. Your health is going to be coming back when these skills are active, and since our Golem is going to be in effect quite often, you're going to see how effective this is. Let me show you guys a quick demonstration. I'm just going to show you guys right here. You're going to see 197 firepower. I'm going to hit Golem. Hold on, not Gravity Leap. I'm actually going to hit Golem here, and you'll see how it goes to 56 firepower. Okay, that's how much firepower we're doing when that Golem effect is active. So it's extremely important, and it buffs it up quite a lot, as you see right there. So here, guys, we're picking up bonus firepower, skill life leech, and cooldown reduction. Cooldown reduction is extremely important here, plus the bonus firepower and the skill life leech. That's the main stats you want to look for the gear, especially for the purples that we have in the bottom. That would be the god roll you want to go with. Here we are running a Stare into the Barrel. It's going to boost your firepower by 10k plus for enemies in close range. This is extremely important that you put this one here because you want to get that boost to firepower as much as you possibly can. And we have Perseverance here. There's a level 1 mod. You could probably pick this off of blue. It's going to increase the skill duration of Golem by 1%. Remember, we want to keep Golem active as much as we possibly can, so we could output the most damage we could possibly output. Then, guys, we're going to go into the Torso, which is the upper armor. This has bonus firepower, skill life leech, and cooldown reduction, very similar to the top piece. This comes with Power of the Stones. Extremely important, guys. This is going to be extremely important because when we have Tremor active, it's going to give 40% weapon damage to not only us, but to our allies as well. So whenever we have Golem, we have 100%. Whenever we have Tremor, we have 100%. In addition to that, we're getting the 40% weapon damage. So it is extremely crazy. Here, guys, we're using Damage Absorber, which is going to increase your armor by 52k and your resistance by 10%. I like to have this one for survivability purposes, so you guys won't be dying. This build is kind of like a little bit of a glass cannon, so you kind of want to make sure you have a good amount of survivability. So I would probably recommend this. Theoretically, you could probably swap this with a more damageable kind of mod here, but right now that is what I would recommend. I'll tell you guys what other mods you could put here towards the end of the video. Next up, guys, we're running the Status Leg, which is the lower armor piece. This is going to be running the Golem Squad, extremely important. Increases the skill duration by 20%, So that is crazy because we want to make sure we have Golem active. The more we have Golem active, the higher that firepower, that 556 firepower, the longer it's going to stay active. Here, guys, we're running a mod that I would recommend, level 2 mod. So if you're blues and purples, you should already have this one. Critical shots build up to 5-second stacks effect that grant you 3,500 anomaly power and 7,723 fire opponent's bonus stacks up to 5 times. Since you are going to be stacking this multiplicatively, you are going to be doing a ton of damage with this one. That one's a requirement, so you definitely want to make sure you start farming for that one. Check if you have that in your inventory. Next, we have the gloves, guys. These are purple. We have bonus firepower, cooldown reduction, and close range damage. We would theoretically like to have skill life leech, but we do what we can when we're here. What we do have running here is Captain Hunter. That is a requirement. Not a requirement, but if you want to melt the bosses really fast, like I showed you in the video, that is what you want to run with. Then the second mod, that one you could skip. You don't really need this one, but this is actually, I mean, survivability wise is not that bad. Whenever your health drops below 30%, it increases your melee damage by 300. Really good to get out of those sticky situations. It looks like you're about to die. Melee, boom, bada, bing. You kind of pretty much kill almost anything that's in your way, especially since you're applying bleed effect. And last but not least, guys, we got the footwear. This is gonna bonus firepower, close range damage, cooldown reduction here. Now, of course, skilled life leads would probably best right here, but we do what we can. One that is a requirement is Sharp Eye. Killing enemies while aiming down sights grants you up to 16,000 K firepower for 20 seconds, stacks up to 3 times. Really important. The Stand Tall, that one is not that important, but because we're not really using it, that only works if you're standing in cover. And since we're never standing in cover with this particular build, it is not beneficial for us. So if I had a different mod here, all right, since you guys saw that mod is not good, let's talk about mods that you could probably replace here that are going to make this build even more deadlier. So the cool thing about this is that there's some really good level 2 mods that are actually pretty dope, and you should have these really factor. You can start building it your way. So what you want to look for, guys, is you want to look for this one right here, which is this one right here. Personal Space grants you 15% bonus to close range weapon damage. This is going to help you out a lot. So if I had a choice, if I could swap the one I had on my boots for this one, oh my goodness, this would be even crazier. The other one that I want to recommend, guys, is another one that helps you quite a lot, which is down here, which is called Bloodlust. Killing shots increase your firepower by 17k, stacks up to 3 times every 10 seconds. If you're able to put these 2 mods and replace the 2 mods that I currently have right now that aren't working that well, that would be amazing. So like, for example, here, instead of Stand Tall, or here, instead of Perseverance Feast, if we could replace those 2 mods, oh my goodness, this would be even melting more and more. But overall, in general, guys, you get the idea of how you want to run this build. I do hope you guys are enjoying our Outriders coverage. And I'm going to tell you one thing, guys. Pretty soon, you're going to see a lot of people putting up this build on YouTube. Make sure you let them know where you saw it here first, guys. That does help us out quite a lot. Thank you guys for watching today. I do hope you guys are enjoying our Outriders coverage. If you are, do me a huge favor, guys. Drop a comment, drop a like. But most importantly, subscribe to the channel, turn on those notifications so you guys won't miss when we go live. Thank you for those who have shown up in the stream. We're probably streaming right now, so stop by and hang out. Thank you guys for watching. I'll talk to you guys later.